Today I'm going to go over the pros and cons of joining Real Broker in 2025. I'm going to go over 3 pros and 3 cons each, and if you stick around to the end, I will give you a bonus pro that many people don't know about Real, and it's a game changer, especially if you're licensed in multiple states. So stick around to the end. Now, I will do my absolute best to be fair on this topic, but frankly, I love being with Real Broker, and honestly, I struggled a little bit trying to find a downside of being with Real Broker. My experience and perspective come from my over 10 years as a real estate agent and broker in the industry. I moved to Real Broker in early 2024. Before that, I was with EXP for 4 years, and for the 3 years prior, I owned my own independent real estate brokerage in West Seattle, Washington. So it's a little bit of my background. My name is Christian Harris. I run the C-Town team in Seattle, Washington, and co-run the Ohana Homes team in sunny Southwest Florida. If after this video you are still interested in to learn more about joining Real Broker, I'd be happy to hop on a confidential one-on-one video call with you. I have a link in the description below that you can click on to schedule that. Now let's get into it. Con number 1, office space. So con number 1 of joining Real Brokerage, or any club brokerage for that matter, is office space. Cloud brokerages like Real do not offer office space like a franchise brokerage or independent brokerage often does. But that office space is not free, as you will typically be paying for it out of your much higher split in cap or in the form of a monthly or annual desk fee. So if you do have an office space with the brokerage you're with now, you're paying for it in some way. You will pay much less with a cloud brokerage like Real because they do not have the expensive overhead that comes with having a physical office spaces. This is why Real Broker has a lower cap of only $12,000. There's no desk fees or monthly fees, and Real can afford to offer revenue share and stock awards to their agents. They don't have the large overhead of office spaces to maintain for their agents. Now let's be honest, most agents do not go into their offices anymore, yet they still end up paying for them even if they aren't using them. So the majority of agents nowadays, especially at Real and cloud brokerages, work from home offices like the one I'm recording in right now. I'm actually standing at my standing desk in my recording studio / office. My wife's workstation is right next to me. We love the flexibility and lower cost that comes from having a home office. Now, of course, you can still be with Real and have your own office space. Especially teams, it's not unheard of for them to go out and lease maybe a small office for 1 or 2 agents, or a larger, nicer office with good public visibility if they've got a big team. They find that even when combining the cost of doing business at Real plus the expense of having and paying for their own lease and office space, that it's still more affordable than what they were paying at their old franchise brokerage. And now they have a lot more flexibility in where they want their office space and how they decorate it and the aesthetic, instead of being stuck with whatever office space their brokerage is in. So if being part of a brokerage that provides an office space for you that you can go into every day is a deal breaker for you, Real and cloud brokerages probably are not going to be a good fit for you. But if you think outside the box a little bit, are willing to set up a home office, work from a coffee shop, or lease a small space for yourself, there's definitely a lot more cost-effective options with a cloud brokerage model as to where you decide to work. Now, a question I get quite a bit is, if you don't have an office space, where do you meet your clients at? Now, I do all of my buyer consultations via Zoom nowadays. I've never had a client have an issue with it, and they find it a lot more convenient and efficient for their time to not have to drive to a physical office space and meet with me or a real estate agent in a conference room. Now, if you don't want to do your meetings over a phone or a Zoom call, you can obviously always meet in a coffee shop, or sometimes I'll simply borrow my title partner's conference room. I'll call them up and say, hey, is your conference room available from 11 to noon, and I want to meet with a client? And most of the time it's wide open, and they're happy to share their space with me. So there's a number of options there when it comes to meeting with clients and having meetings. Now, pro number 1, culture, community, and access to an amazing network of agents across the country. When I first started in real estate, I was told I needed to come into the office every day to work, but I quickly discovered the offices were empty and successful agents were not sitting around their desks. They were out in front of people doing business and making things happen. In my experience, the majority of agents who do still come into the office simply sit around the water cooler chatting about non-real estate things that just aren't helpful and I don't want to be part of. Or maybe you only go into the office because you're forced to attend a in-person sales meeting every week. And if producing agents do come to the office, they don't have time to talk with you or help other agents. They're busy. One of the things I really love about Real Broker here is that I get to choose who in my network I want to align with and learn from across the country and even Canada. With this model, gone are the days of being limited and stuck with being surrounded by whoever happens to be in your local office. Everyone at Real understands the culture of service, giving, and growing together. We're also financially incentivized either through stock, since Real is an agent-owned brokerage, or revenue share to help each other. I can't tell you how many people at Real that I regularly learn from and collaborate with. These are people that are crushing it in their business and their personal lives. They're where I want to be, they're living the lifestyle I want to live, and they're willing and able to get me there as well. It's part of what I love about the culture and the ability to align and surround myself with such amazing people. As the old adage goes, you are going to become the person most like the 5 people you surround yourself with. So choose your network and who you surround yourself with carefully. Do they drag you down, or do they encourage and inspire you and draw you to newer levels of production and mindset and possibilities? I've never come across this kind of culture and energy and collaboration or openness at a traditional franchise or even an independent brokerage. The old model simply doesn't support it. The traditional brokerage model is built to create competition between agents in the same office. If you have experience with this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. With the toxic culture and the everyone's out for themselves mentality, the brokerage leadership favoritism towards the top producers, it's no fun being around all this. It causes isolation and division and resentment between agents and spoils any goodwill or healthy culture that could have been there. Conversely, Real has been the healthiest, most vibrant culture of giving, kindness, and generosity that I have ever been a part of. And it's evident that it all starts at the top with the leadership. Now, I remember when I was considering moving over to a cloud brokerage, and I thought to myself, how can a virtual brokerage where I'm working at home have a healthy, vibrant culture and community? How's that possible? I just didn't understand it. Well, there's several ways that Real facilitates this. One is with their collaborative training. Real has over 30 live streams per week, with many of them being live Zoom masterminds with all sorts of niche topics to help you grow your business the way you want to and the way you actually enjoy running your business. Real also uses a platform for their community called Work Vivo, created by Zoom, where every state has its own group. There's different niche groups in there. You can direct message anyone in the company, access trainings and resources and updates. So as I've said, Real has a culture of collaboration over competition, and there's a number of reasons for this. One, Real is agent owned. Real is not only publicly traded on the NASDAQ, but any agent at Real who has done any production at all is going to have Real stock. So when you have ownership in the company, you're able to capture the vision and be on board and work together as one company. Real Broker gives their agents free stock in the company by hitting specific production milestones, simply by doing the activities that you are already doing as a real estate agent with whatever company you are with right now. You can earn up to $24,000 in free stock a year from the Elite Agent Program. This simply means that when you hit your $12,000 cap in your anniversary year and then you sell an additional 21 properties, you hit Elite status, and they gift you back $16,000 in stock, and you have the option to be awarded an additional $8,000 if you participate in their culture award by teaching classes, or there's a few other things you could do to qualify for the extra stock award. Now, what company do you know gives you stock, awards you for hitting milestones, gives you financial incentive to sell houses like you're doing anywhere else? That's crazy. And I'll tell you from my experience, the tens of thousands of dollars that I have received from Real stock just from doing the course of business and helping my clients buy and sell property, it's been amazing and a life changer. And because we are all owners of the company together, it really feels different. It feels like we're building this together because we're all one community. We're not separate people working for a brokerage, competing against each other. We're building an awesome thing together, something that hasn't existed before in real estate. It all just has a really cool vibe and energy that I've never experienced before. Not even when I was with EXP back when they were still growing. And even with the revenue share structure, it incentivizes building quality relationships and community, especially with the co-sponsorship opportunities that you can take advantage of to leverage multiple networks within Real to ensure that agents joining you have all the resources they need for success. And as I mentioned before, you can also connect with other agents and Real communities through Work Vivo platform by Zoom, which includes state groups for specific updates and monthly state meetings, as well as having access to direct message anyone in the company. So let's move on to con number 2, low name recognition. Now, when you go to a big franchise company like Keller Williams or Remax or Coldwell Banker, they will tell you that what you're really paying them for is being associated with their brand. Their brands have been around for decades and they've built lots of consumer recognition and trust with their brands. That's what they're going to tell you, and that's really what you're paying for and why you're going to pay such high fees at those companies. Now at Real, we are a relatively new company, around 10 years old, and we are growing our name and brand recognition, and it's growing very rapidly. As of the time of this recording, we have nearly 25,000 agents, and we are in the top 10 of the largest real estate brokerages in the country. Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret here. You may have witnessed this yourself. In my opinion, the agent brand is far more important than the brokerage brand, especially when you're talking about younger consumers, meaning Gen X and younger, especially tech-savvy people. Brand recognition is not enough for someone to want to work with a company anymore. Anyone who understands marketing and branding will confirm this, as they will tell you how important building your personal brand is. The majority of consumers do not understand the difference between the big franchise names because, frankly, there is no difference when it comes to consumer experience or results. Home buyers and sellers want to work with a specific agent. They want to work with you, and what brokerage you're with is largely irrelevant to them. They don't know the difference. And I'm sure you can attest, if you've been doing real estate for any period of time, that the brokerage you're with largely does not determine the level of success you're going to hit or the experience you provide your clients, which means name recognition in this day and age is largely irrelevant. It's not the brokerage that makes the agent successful or good at their job. A successful agent will be successful at any brokerage they're with. So even though for the time being, Real doesn't have as large of a brand recognition as some some of the larger brands that have been around for longer, frankly, I don't think it matters that much for consumers or for your real estate business. Pro number 2, unprecedented award-winning technology and industry innovation. There's very few companies that are actually innovating in the real estate space these days. And Real has some of the best technology in the entire industry. They've won a dozen awards over the last few years in technology innovation, best of service, fastest growing, the list just goes on and on. Our tech really helps streamline the home buying process for the agent. It makes my life and business so much easier to manage. Our mobile app and desktop version has everything you need in one place for the transaction management, production and revenue share numbers, marketing needs, Real Academy for your classes, training, and masterminds, and it's so easy and intuitive to use. Not to mention the AI that's built on top of the system, which is constantly getting better and anticipating my needs and questions. It's frankly incredible, looks nice, good aesthetic, and it's kind of fun to use as well. Now, something that's really cool that Real is working on right now is actually a consumer app that's powered by AI as well. It's going to provide a roadmap and live checklist for your clients' transactions. And if they work with a Real broker agent, one Real title and one Real mortgage, it actually streamlines the entire process and creates full visibility of where it is in the process, and you can actually close much faster because Real have control over the entire process instead of having 3 or 4 different companies working on the transaction. And it'll all be fully transparent in this app for Real agent clients. Now, con number 3 for moving to Real is that Real does not offer paid courses or coaching. Now, this is something that many brokerages have built into their business model, like Keller Williams, for example, which is the largest brokerage in the world. As soon as you become an agent there, they try to upsell you on classes, courses, and coaching. Now, I know a lot of agents that have been with Keller Williams in the past, including my wife, Ashley Harris. And as soon as they signed up, they were pressured to sign up for MAPS coaching, which is $1,000 per month, as well as sign up for their Bold classes every single year, and that's $800 a pop. Now, Real has gone a different direction with this. Some people may see it as a positive, while others may see it as a negative. All of our training is free and open to all of our agents. If you want to hire a coach, you're free to do so, but you have to do it outside of Real, which gives agents a lot more options instead of being stuck with whatever coaching program your brokerage happens to force on you. So as an example, a lot of Real agents have actually gravitated toward Tom Ferry coaching. Now, regarding courses and classes, we have Real Academy, which has over 200 online on-demand classes available instantly for any agent, over 30 live stream classes a week, and over 24 reoccurring weekly mastermind calls. All of this is free to any agent who joins Real. Now, if you're a new agent or maybe you've been out of real estate for a while, Real does have a mentorship program as well. Any Real agent can apply to be a mentor. As compensation for teaching them and walking them through how to be an agent in your market, you'll then be compensated by receiving a percentage of the agent's commission for their first 3 transactions. So in a nutshell, all of the training, courses, and classes that Real provides are complimentary, no additional cost. And if you do want dedicated one-on-one coaching, you will have to find it outside of Real, but frankly, that gives you a lot more options than if your brokers charge you for it and provided it for you. Pro number 3, access to multiple streams of income. So Real stock is also a source of income from both hitting certain production milestones and being gifted stock up to $24,000 by hitting elite status, and from the stock equity program that you can opt into when you join Real. This program enables you to earn up to 10% free stock on top of your stock purchase, which you buy automatically and directly out of your commission of each closing. So either 5% or 10% of your commission will go towards buying Real stock based on if you're capped or not. It's actually a really sweet program where they simply give you free stock on top of your 5 or 10% purchase. It's a good deal. You can kind of look at it as a 401k matching program. Additionally, if you attract an agent who joins Real, you also get a stock award when they close their first transaction with Real. So that's pretty sweet. All right, you also have the revenue share program. Now, this can be a significant source of residual while you sleep income as well. It's not tied to your production, it's in addition to it, and it's totally passive income. For every agent you directly bring to Real, they name you as your sponsor, you can earn up to $4,000 per year that they are at Real, providing they hit their $12,000 cap every year, which means they earn $75,000 GCI annually. If that's too complicated, just remember, if they hit their cap, you're gonna make $4,000 extra in revenue share. Now, additionally, if they bring anyone on underneath them, that would become your tier 2, you make money off of that. Tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, you make money on all those different tiers at a different rate. Now, we also have access to joint venture income opportunities like one Real title and one Real mortgage if they're in your state. For example, if you're an agent with Real broker, you can actually also be a mortgage lender with one Real mortgage on the same transaction. You obviously have to get your MLO license, of course. You can actually earn an additional 1.25% on the loan amount. Kind of think of this like a mortgage referral fee. So this would be in addition to your buyer agent commission that you're already going to be receiving. So these are all different streams of income available to real agents that other companies simply do not offer, on top of your primary business of helping your clients buy and sell real estate. So if you're still interested in learning more about Real Broker, I'd be happy to hop on a confidential one-on-one video call with you, talk to you more about your business, talk to you about Real, and see if it'd be a good fit or not. Simply click on the link below in the description to schedule your call. And here's your bonus pro that I promised you at the end. Real Broker is one brokerage across the entire US. Now this is significant because the majority of companies you heard of are either franchises, which means they're independently owned and operated. So, maybe someone owns a Keller Williams office or 5 offices in one area, but very rarely do they cross state lines. So if you're in multiple states, like let's say, Washington and Arizona, more than likely if you're with Keller Williams, you're going to be with different franchises, which means you're going to have twice the split, twice the cap. You're going to be paying double if you're with a franchise model or with the independent model, because independents tend to be, one office, locally oriented. But with Real Broker, you could be with 2 or 3, licensed in 2 or 3 different states, and you're going to have one split, one cap. All of your business feeds into that one split and that one cap model. And the revenue share, is the same too. You can help attract agents from all over the country and the 4 provinces that Real is in, which means, if you're used to kind of that Keller Williams profit share model, that's great, but that only works on a really local level. There's rarely any profit left, so there's really nothing to share, and you're limited to recruiting and helping agents in your local market. With Real, that is not the case. You are not limited to only working in one market or recruiting and helping agents in one market. You are free to do that across the entire country and anywhere that Real has a presence. So that is a pretty substantial thing, especially if you're licensed in multiple states, because it's going to save you a ton of money and really simplify your business plan and your taxes and accounting and all that stuff that gets really complicated when you have, you're part of different brokerages, even if it's the same brand, in different states. So again, let me know if you have any questions, schedule that free consultation, and I'll see you on the next video.